Hello and welcome to the Rio Tea Import Company's weekly tea review. My name is David Guerra. I am your host. I am I'm your tea guy. How you doing? Well, let's get this started. Again, Rio Tea Import Company, located in McAllen, Texas, 2212 Primrose, about a block north of 23rd and Atlanta. So if you find yourself out there, stop by. We'd love to see you. Well, let's get started. First review is going to be the tea of the month, the April 2015 tea of the month, and it is the Pomegranate Oolong by HARNEY & Sons. It's their blend. It's the full leaves of premium Guiton Oolong are deliciously infused with tangy pomegranate to create this inspiring yet complex full-bodied blend that brews into a sweetly fragrant, silky, textured cup of tea. The Guiton Oolong used is named after the Chinese goddess of mercy. This is from the HARNEY & Sons website. The ingredients, well, plain and simple. It's a delicious blend of light yet fragrant oolong tea, natural and some artificial pomegranate flavors. You know, you can smell it through the container. You can smell it in the box. This comes in the sachets, or individually wrapped. Come in a box of 20 sachets. Really good stuff. It's very fragrant, very aromatic, and I can't wait to taste this. A little bit more about the oolong tea. The extra large leaves of the Guiton Oolong are deliciously infused with tangy pomegranate to create this inspiring blend. Not bad. Now, for those of you that are looking for something with caffeine or without caffeine, well, if you're looking for caffeine, it's in here. It's here. About 40 to 60 milligrams per sachet. So we're going to open this up here in just a second. We're going to brew it up. We've got, I don't know if you can see it, but it's here. It's the Aroma Electric Water Kettle. Brand new, fresh out of the box. We just picked this up and we needed some water, and it just finished reaching the boiling point. We had to turn it off because it gets kind of loud. And as the shows go on and stuff, I'll do a little review on the equipment that we use, the products that we use. You know what? I'm even going to include some of the stuff that we use and we eat along with the tea. So I'm looking at my clock because it is about 4:30 as I'm recording this. So you know, high tea time. It's upon us, and what that is, it's just going to take us through the afternoon hours to get us ready for dinner, and that's always a fun thing. So let's dive in. Let's see what we need to do. Well, let's see. We need to get the water between 180 degrees Fahrenheit and 212 degrees Fahrenheit, so up to boiling and just below boiling, and then we let it steep for 1 to 5 minutes, whatever you prefer, and we're going to go through the process. So let's make some magic. I don't know if you can hear this, but I plugged it back in. Well, I turned it back on. I'm talking about the Aroma Electric Water Kettle. I turned it back on, and I don't know if you can hear it. More than likely you can. It's just like a low rumbling noise. Well, like I said earlier, I had already brought it up to a boil. Now we're going to bring it back up to that boil again. And I'm looking at the container right now, and I'll show you the container. I don't want to move it. Everything's just kind of in its place. But as we go along, you'll see the container, and you'll see what it does. But there it is. It's that low rumble. So we're going to wait for it to... We're not going to watch it because, again, a watch pot never boils. But I don't know about an electric water kettle. Let's take a look. Okay, now it's reached the boiling, and it's just been about maybe another minute. It's a rolling boil, sorry about that, and it's been about a minute or two since I turned it back on. Really sharp. Now you can hear the bubbles, you can really hear it, and you can see it, you can see through it, and it's agitating, and things are going. And I guess it reached the point because it shut itself off, and that's a good thing. I had nothing to do with it. It shut itself off. Very good thing. It reached the boil. So let's go ahead and open up our sachet. And again, Pomegranate Oolong, the April 2015 tea of the month. And here's a really neat thing. It's a sachet. It's a whole leaf pyramid sachet. Remember pyramids, you know, any side, it'll stand up on its own. And there we go. There's 1, 2, 4 sides, 3, and there's the 4th side. Nice long handle there. According to the HARNEY & Sons website, our pyramid sachet is a precision design that allows room for perfectly measured whole leaf tea to steep completely, to expand and infuse completely. Each sachet is filled with our finest hand-picked teas for a perfect cup of tea every time. Folks, I've used these for a while, and These things are awesome. So let's go ahead. Here's our cup. Let's drop it in here. Now back to the aroma water kettle. And we got to be careful here. There we go, because the way it's mounted. And go ahead and right off the bat, the first thing that you smell is the pomegranate, and it is awesome. It is fantastic. So now we're going to let it steep, and I'm going to go for the full 5 minutes. So you won't sit here and hear me ramble on. But so we're going to, through the magic of computers and video and Adobe Premiere, we're going to go ahead forward into time 5 minutes. Okay, I'm back. And it's not been the full 5 minutes yet. I'd say we're coming up on the 4th minute. But in the meantime, let's talk a little bit about oolong tea and you know, what it is, what it isn't. And well, it's kind of a green tea because that's what it's giving off in the water. Very nice green, light green, but the aroma is still there. You still smell the pomegranate, and that's very good. Some of the things to know about the oolong. It is said that oolong tea, the health benefits of oolong tea, now this is what it said, this is coming from organicfacts.net. It helps reduce obesity and stress. Folks, it's tea in general will help you reduce stress. It kind of relieves and calms you and soothes you, and that's what it is. If you ever had chamomile tea, there you go. And of course, we've seen enough infomercials and have been told a lot that stress creates these, oh my, I forgot the word because I know it's right here. These chemicals within our bodies, and I can't for the life of me, and I know what it is. Hormones, there we go. Releases the stress hormones and within our body, and that causes weight retention, water retention. Our body goes into this mode of shutdown and hold on to everything because we don't know what's happening, and that's caused by stress. So as you're relieving that stress, obviously there's no need for the body to release those hormones. So in that case, yes, it does. I see where it does work. It functions as an antioxidant. Antioxidants are great for cells, to protect the cells at the cellular level, and that's a good thing. So again, that's another plus. Protects teeth against decay. Some teas have fluoride in them, some don't. Others, just by their value, or what they contain, will help that. And of course, you know, it's in minute form, but you know what? Every little bit helps. Controls diabetes. Again, it's that whole stress, lose weight, maintain your weight. Prevents development of cancerous cells. Not too sure about that, but I want to say it's got to do with those antioxidants. So there you go. Improves mental health performance. Well, obviously, as I said, tea helps you calm down, relieves that stress. There you go. Sharper, leaner, meaner, focus, and that's a good thing. Protects bone mineral density. Well, there you go. Not too sure about that one, but again, caution. As I said earlier, it does contain about 40 to 60 milligrams of caffeine per sachet, so you've got to be careful. You're going to get a little caffeine jolt there, but again, when you do come off of it, it's not going to be like anything that you've had in, say, in those power drinks, the 5-hour energy drinks, or they claim that there's no sudden loss. But again, it's one of those that's everybody's different. It's all going to work out. Well, we've reached our 5-minute mark, and I see here on my handy dandy wristwatch that we're there. So now let's take a look at our tea, and it's still it's tinted, but it's not dark green or anything like that. Oh, it still smells great. Take the bag out of the water, and you can smell that pomegranate come in, and that's a good thing. Now, I don't know about you. Some people, they say, you know, you're not supposed to squeeze it when you take the bag out of the cup, and others, well, it's kind of up to you. It's bad manners. Don't do that. Don't press it, you know. And some people say, well, why do you squeeze it? You're going to get that extra flavor? No, I'm going to get the extra liquid out of there. Man, this thing is puffy. It filled up that bag. Look at that. It's all full. It gets that extra water. That way you don't have a mess later on when you're putting things away. So just put it back in its bag, and there we go. We're good to go. Personally, I'll take my tea unsweetened. Of course, there'll be times when I want just a little bit of sweetness, and it'll be either just sugar or honey, or when I have it, rock rock sugar, just stirring a little bit there, just enough to give it that little, take the edge off. Nothing fancy, nothing too overpowering, but let's give it a taste. Again, sniffy sniff. You smell the oolong. You still smell the pomegranate. It's back there. Oh my. Oh, yes, yes. Not sharp, not tangy, not, I mean, it just envelops your tongue. Quick little sip, and I'm good to go. This is pretty good tea. I like it. Let's well, you know what? Let's have a little bit more. Oh, this is good tea, and this is very good. And again, the pomegranate flavor is not gonna carry in there. You'll taste it; it's there, but it's not going to be the main focus of the tea. You're gonna have the oolong, you're going to have that rich flavor of the tea. You're going to taste the leaves. You're going to taste, what am I tasting? I'm tasting the leaves, the dried leaves. I can taste that. What do I taste? I taste something woodsy, but I'm not too sure where that is coming from. It's very brief. It's very subtle. It just pops right up and right over. Oh, my. It's kind of, I don't know if you can see the color. There we go. It's kind of a little golden green. According to the Tea Association of the United States, oolong tea falls somewhere between green and black teas, as its leaves are only partially oxidized. But there are numerous kinds of tea in this world, but oolong tea might be one of the most beneficial. Wow, to your health. Cheers. Another sip. Oh my. Now again, this is one of those teas you can have all by yourself. And as I get more into it, now I'm sipping more. It's cooling down a little bit. Now I'm getting more and more flavors. And now I'm starting to smell it in the back of through my nose. I'm smelling it coming all around as I sip into it. I'm really getting it all over. And that's really, really nice. Folks, if you have not had the pomegranate oolong, I highly recommend it. I mean, it tastes good, it feels good, and I guess I have to say that because it still has caffeine, I like it. I like that it is relaxing, but then again, it's got to be because it's a warm tea. I'm not having a cold tea, and it's kind of rainy outside, and that's a good thing. I like it. I like it a lot. It's very good tea. This is my first time tasting this one. I've had the others. I've had the other oolong teas, but this is the first time I've had this one, and it's very good. Excuse me. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, yeah. See, now I'm really tasting more of the other flavors behind it. Now the pomegranate is starting to creep up on you, but it's not there. Well, as I said, we're going to also talk about some of the things we eat with it, or what you can eat with it. And kind of with the tea, because again, it's afternoon tea. If you have a little hunger, or even though your tea is going to carry you through because of the caffeine, you can always take a little something extra. Again, it's not meant to be another meal before the meal. On quite the contrary, it's supposed to just help you get past that last hump right before dinner. And let's see how it does for me. Personally, I'm looking at some shortbread cookies. I picked up a couple. And I picked up a couple when I picked up the Aroma electric water kettle. I said, you know what, I need to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this right. So let's have a little something. But, folks, throughout the series here, we're going to be mixing it up. And it's not just going to be shortbread cookies or biscuits, as they call them across the pond. No, we're going to have some local pastries. We're going to have some local bakers come in and sit with us. And we're going to talk about what they're going to taste the tea. And then they're going to say, you know what, Dave? This would go great with this tea. And our next one, we're going to do something pretty cool. And so be on the lookout for that. And it's going to be fun. But for the first show, we're going to go old school. We're going to go traditional. Like I said, we picked up some shortbread cookies. And again, there's just no very, very good cookies. A little buttery, which is not too shabby. Now, how does that work with the obesity thing? That doesn't matter. What matters is what you like. And if you can, by all means, have a little something. It doesn't hurt. That is good. Oh, the little buttery in the back of my mouth. The oolong tea, a little bit of pomegranate. It just hits it just right. And that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that. Let's see what we've got here. Now, there are some people that will dunk. And there are some people that don't dunk. Personally, it depends on the beverage, whether I dunk or not. In this case, I really don't like dunking anything into my tea. Call me a tea snob that way, but that's just the way it is. And of course, there are just some people that will dunk into anything. It doesn't matter. And that's all right. It's personal preference. It's what you choose. But right now, the pomegranate oolong and the shortbread cookies, I do not think would make a good dunking situation. But you know what? We're going to definitely go into other modes and not just review teas. I've been posting up recipes. If you follow us on Twitter, and I'll put the Twitter address down here. There we go. So be sure you follow me on Twitter. And we've been putting up recipes, links to recipes, and there's a lot of good recipes out there. And so I'm going to try some recipes, and we're going to bake some recipes, and we're going to make some recipes, and we're going to do some cool stuff with the show. But one thing at a time. One thing at a time. I don't want to overdo it, overextend myself, get my hit the ground running, and then burn out before the second show. That's not the plan. Again, the pomegranate oolong is the tea of the month. It is also a fantastic tea. It's oolong tea is a semi-green fermented tea, and if you are looking for a nice flavorful tea to have just about any time, you need a little pick-me-up. 40 to 60 milligrams of caffeine per sachet, and you saw the sachets, and the tea is awesome, and that's without any sweetener. If you prefer sweetener, by all means, sugar, honey, or rock sugar, and they sell them on little sticks with a little ball, and you just do that. Milk or cream, I'm not too sure how that would go in here. I like it in my Ceylon tea. I like it in my Earl Grey at times, not always. So again, it just depends on what's going on and what mood hits me. And I'll talk about adding cream to your tea and what types of sugar and types of sweetener. Personally, I've given up on the Splenda and the Sweet and Low and all of those, and it's not anything against them. It's just something I've chosen no longer partake in, so I will not be covering that in teas or in them. Again, that's a personal preference. That's on you. So if you want that, that's fine. That's good. That's all on you. That's your flavor. That's okay with me. But I won't be doing it here. Folks, I think we're about time. Pomegranate Oolong is the tea of the month. It's the tea in this review. It's a fantastic tea. Great flavor. Great aroma. It's very relaxing. Even though it has caffeine, I'm feeling pretty good. And again, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for your time. My name is David Guerra, and this is the Rio Tea Import Company Tea of the Week, or tea review, or try this tea, or you know what? I'm going to come up with a name, but it doesn't matter. By the time you see this, there'll be a name up here someplace, up over here. Well, listen, thanks a lot for watching. Thank you for your time. Until next week, have a good one. Cheers.